that teaches truth, 100% truth, according to the Bible. Your brother Malakama and do another quick transit. I was watching the brother, the beloved elder apostle Malakama, or Malcolm Shalakia, from GMS Chicago video a minute ago. He was kind of going into about the tears and how at one time, we had the Israelites, we ruled, us as Israelites, we were in our prominence, that we had Edomites, up under us, and they followed our laws, statutes, and commandments at one time, and he was going into how in 70 AD, you had some Edomites even fighting on our side against the Romans, because they had become indoctrinated to our system. And same as it is today, so on the reverse side, we're into the Roman system. And we've been becoming so engrossed and indoctrinated to this system. And really it's a system of white supremacy, where they project themselves as being a superior race over all the other races. And them looking down, and in this system, we're at the bottom of their society. Not only they use a lot of propaganda to portray this image of us, but really it falls back to the curses, because the Lord said the first shall be last, and last shall be first. And you can use that twofold, because at the time we were one time first of all the nations, during the time of King David and King Solomon. We were ruling over all the other nations at that time. But you know how the story goes, man. We end up breaking our covenant with Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh, and therefore the Lord, to show His strength and His power, because He's done this many times, with the Babylonian Empire when they took over the Assyrians, and the Lord had told him each time, He can take anybody He wants and bring into power and build them up. It's not that they can do it on their own. He has Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh has the power and authority to do it and make whoever He wants, man. He can take the most top tier person and bring them down to the bottom, or group, or nation. But you can see it's happened to us. It's happened to our people. And He has put us in a position now that we're totally defenseless and totally dependent upon these other nations for everything that we have, man. We don't build anything, we don't grow anything, we don't produce anything. Everything we get and consume, we have to get from these other nations. And that just shows the power of the Lord, our Lord and Savior Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh, where He left us totally defenseless. There's no other way for us to find any way to be saved out of this unless we go to the Father. And He had to do that to put us in that position, to be able to cry out to Him, man. There's only a select few that are going to cry out, that's going to be able to see it, that's going to get it. And we call them the elect. The rest of the 2/3, they've been indoctrinated into this system, into these this Babylonian system, or these heathen systems, wherever our people may be. And you can see how it could easily happen, and you see how they had enough craftiness from the beginning, where they started taking our people when we first bringing us over here, and they were breaking up the family. They would bust up the families and send the kids off somewhere, and the parents off to another place, to separate us from our customs and from our knowledge and from our heritage. That's one way they went about doing it. The same as they did when they came over here to Gad and Reuben, the northern kingdom tribes. When they came over here, they was already over here. But the first thing they did, they put them on reservations. They made them totally dependent on the system. then they took the kids and put them in so-called indoctrination schools. You know, that way they could strip them of their heritage, of their native language, you know, of their customs. And what they used to call it back then was called separating the, because you know they use this Christianity, they flipped it around, taking the savage out of the man or something like that, so to speak. But really, them being savages, you know, talking about these Edomites, they're the real true savage, you know, because they have that savage mentality. Rape, conquer, and murder. That's what they do. But they're crafty enough to dress it up like they're doing good, and like they're the good guys, and portray those who are holy people as being the bad guy. That's what Scripture talks about. You know, Satan has crafted himself as being the angel of light. So he puts on this image like he's the good guy. One for him, bringing us over here, we would be savages over there in Africa. Or them not coming over here and taming the so-called Native Americans, you know, they would be savages, you know. But the true savages was the ones that came over here and conquered and put our people in subjection, put them into hardcore slavery. Those were the true savages. So you got our people, you know, stripped their minds, you know, robbed them of all their heritage, took their language, took their culture, and then you gave them a watered down version of what they should be. You know, you gave them a whole lot of mistruths through the educational system, telling that they were Africans, that they were from the tribe of Ham, that we're the heathens, and they're actually, you know, the children of the light. That they're the children of Yahweh. So Esau has been very crafty in his plan work and things that he's done, man. You know, it's a well thought out plan. And the reason he did it because the Lord allowed him, man. You have to realize, man, it goes back. Esau was a base man. It tells you in the book of Job. He was a base man. He was the lowest of the lowest of all the nations out there. Matter of fact, they ran him up into the Caucasus Mountains because he was like a beast man. He was like a savage, man. You couldn't even leave him around your animals, man, without him having sexual relations with your animals. That's how bad he was. Job tell you, know, in the book of Job. So he ran him up in the mountains, man. We had to teach them how to bathe themselves, how to clean themselves, how to cook food and shit like that. Which they still like their, you know, they still like their meat raw, you know, like their blood taste. But yeah, our people have been brainwashed into believing that. And you can't convince Jake, man. You can't convince Jake that he's a child of God, man. That he's an Israelite. He's the Lord's chosen people. And that goes to show you how powerful that wine was that they fed our people. When we're talking about wine, we talk about that miseducation. You know, we drunk with the wine of Babylon the Great. You know, and even some of these Edomites, they truly believe, you know, that we're the worst things. You know, that we're savages, man. That we're not the Lord's chosen people. But believe me, all those at the top know. A lot of these other nations know who we are. A lot of these other heathens that come over here, they know that we are the children of Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And that the Lord is, and that Bible is our heritage, man. It gives us our history of where we come from. Our genealogy. It breaks all that down in there. And it tells us our future. And that is our heritage, man. Our heritage is that Bible, man. That's why they forbid the slaves back during the time of slavery, man, to be able to read, because they didn't want you to read that Bible. And then the ones they did allow to read it, same as these pastors here that they have here today, they gave them a watered down slave version of the Bible that broke down They took a lot of the books, out of the Bible, and they gave you just enough to give into your servitude, man, that you accepted it, thinking that once you die, that's going to be your heaven. Not knowing that our heaven is a whole nother age that's yet to come. And Lord will, we at the end, we at the beginning of our new kingdom that's coming into play, man, that we're going to be rulers. That's going to be our heaven, man. Lord, as I talk about the third heaven up here where we die and we all go up there, of course we're going to be at peace there. We're talking about being heaven here on earth, us being in rulership, not in being perpetual slaves up under these devils, man. It's not going to be any war. They're not going to be able to make excuses why everybody got to live below the poverty line, why they spend millions and trillions of dollars on weapons of war. Because once we come into rulership and shut all that shit down, it ain't going to be no more building any wars. The Lord said it's going to be, everybody's going to turn their swords, their weapons of war into plowshares, man. That means it's going to be a time of prosperity. Everybody's going to eat good. All the other nations are going to eat good up under us, up under our rulership. Because these devils, man, that's in their mind always conquer, rule, and take over, and to disable other countries. That's why so much money go into war defense. And that's why the people suffer because of it. Once you take all that down, man, and you bring peace upon the earth, because there's not going to be any peace, man, until the Lord comes back, until we go to our homeland. That's when it's going to be peace on earth. Once we disarm all these other nations from the power of the Lord and His angels, and they see that power, they know not again. They know never again to try to stand up to the Lord, because with fear comes respect. They know better. They know they're not going to have a chance, man, because the Lord's going to lift up a standard with His people. We're going to have those superpowers, man, like you see in these Marvel movies, man. You might look at it and think it's funny as hell, but it's true. That's where they get that shit from the Bible, man. They tell you about that. The Lord is always giving His men special powers, man. And I'm not just talking about Samson, King David, man. All these men, his mighty men of war. So what other nation in their weakest state will try to stand up against us? And we're going to be immortals, not going to be able to die. So that's the end of war, man. It's going to be peace on earth. The only thing is us whipping these other nations into to following our laws, statutes, and commandments, man, to living righteously and observing our land laws and our Sabbaths, and not eat these abominable foods that Lord put here for a special reason, man. We're not supposed to be eating crabs, lobsters, and shrimps. These things that the Lord put into the waterways to filter the water. But this man that convinced you that these things are a delicacy, and you pay extra $1 for that shit, man, to eat a damn cockroach of the sea. And I could talk about it now because I was one of them heathens at one time, man. I grew up on the coast. That's all we ate was nothing but seafood. Anything come out of the water, we damn near ate, man. And that's where this truth comes in, man. It takes us back to our heritage. It tells us how we're supposed to conduct ourselves and how we're supposed to eat, how we're supposed to observe the laws, statutes, and commandments. But that's pretty much it, man. I guess kind of like a rant, but I just want to kind of hit some points. How the Lord has flipped things around, and He's ready to flip it around again, where we're going to be in power, man. And all these other nations are going to look up to us, because right now we're the dregs of society. All these other nations look down on us. We have no friends out here. So with that being said, shalom.